I'm here with my chat, and they made me aware of this deck that's being played in the XYZ event. So we've built the fastest possible self-burn deck, and I've played against very similar deck lists, probably 9 out of the last 10 decks on ladder. It's kind of polluted the event, so I at the very least want to make you aware that this is a strategy you can use to farm the event very quickly. It will allow you to deal 8,000 damage to yourself in a very expedited amount of time. And it kind of cheeses the system a little bit. So I don't like making videos like this, but I definitely have been asked about this a lot. So I want to make you guys aware that it exists instead of just, like ignoring it, because it is pretty pervasive on ladder. I'll show the deck list after this with a couple replays. But yeah, chat basically told me about this deck, and I polled them. I was playing my Zodiac deck, and I got like 10 games in with my Zodiac deck, which it was really good actually. It had really good success, super fun to play. So I still encourage you to play this deck, this format for real, if you so choose to to play the XYZ format. It's actually a super fun format. I think they did a great job with it. But unfortunately, decks like this are just kind of everywhere, and we'll show a bunch of games. I've probably played against this deck like 7 or 8 times as much as real decks. So yeah, basically all the cards in the deck either deal damage to us or pay life as a cost, so that way we can lose our life points faster than our opponent. I don't know what this card even does. But yeah, chat's here with me. How you doing, chat? Say hi to YouTube. It is a really good way to clear the event very quickly. So if you really don't have a lot of time or you're not interested in the event, this is a good way to kind of avoid the hassle of playing a bunch of games, because the max requirement for games to clear the event is like 20,000 medals, which is the equivalent of like 200 wins. And 200 wins at an average of 20 minutes of game time is like playing for like 9 hours a day during the course of the event. So it's slightly unobtainable if you're playing the event legitimately, but as you can see, this one just allows you to very quickly burn through games. We're just going to jump right into another duel, and like I said, I expect we're just going to run into a very similar deck right away, because we've been playing against this deck everywhere. And the only reason I'm making a video about this is because it is so widely known already. I didn't want to expose this to a wide amount of people if it was just an exploit, but I mean, we really are just playing 40 Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are legal in this format, and so there's nothing really exploitive about it. And our opponent is getting medals faster too, so it's kind of a win-win situation. But as you can see, my opponent doesn't have an extra deck, so I'm already expecting they're playing a similar variant of this. It's just become very widely known on ladder, so I didn't want to leave my viewers in the dark and make sure that everybody is aware that this is a thing. So yeah, my opponent is setting 5, and I'm sure these cards are just excellent for dealing damage to themselves. Yeah, this was around since the first hour of the event. So let's see who can defeat themselves faster. Basically, I already have self-lethal in hand. We use cybernetic fusion support to deal half of our damage to ourselves. And then my opponent gets a response window here. They might try and deal the same thing. Thank you for the follow-up here. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so we don't even have... They're not even going to try and burn themselves if they see us burning ourselves. So it's kind of like a chicken game where, But yeah, all you have to do is do a few of these effects. I'll explain the deck list after a few of these games. But yeah, it's just as easy as that. Boom, the game ends. And since the event rewards give you 50 medals for losing and 100 medals for winning, we're grinding so much faster than if we were actually playing games that it was almost just too hard not to do. Like I said, I played 10 games with my Zodiac deck before doing this, and those were very fun games, and I played against a few real decks, but after a amount of time, I just ended up playing against this deck over and over again, and it kind of brought me over to the dark side. So yeah, thank you so much for the follow, Deezer. Thank you, welcome. Yeah, fastest loss in the universe, indeed, Napoleon. And Raz, thanks for following. Welcome to the stream. All right, so as you see, our opponent again is not playing an extra deck, and we see that we've queued up against this deck again. I really hope that Konami just addresses this, so that way we don't have to do this. It doesn't feel right, but it does feel too good to pass up. Sometimes as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, you run into formats where people are using first turn kills, and they end up just being too good to ignore. For example, there was a format where Pendulum FTK was just by far the best deck, and it was very, very consistent, and people just ended up playing it. Mystic Mind Burn, if anybody's played the TCG format, is another example of a deck that's almost really, really good, and it doesn't feel like it should be allowed, but it's so good. There's been multiple first turn kills. They're using Piri Rice Map to deal half their life to themselves. Clearly just playing an FTK deck. They are searching out the Garbage Lord, which does 2,000 more damage. That's actually a good tech, actually. That's a really good tech. But it's actually kind of funny watching how the meta develops for this first turn kill deck, where people are trying to burn themselves faster than their opponent. And I've seen so many different iterations of the deck. It's just honestly becoming a meme at this point. And it is like it is like kind of a show of people's creativity that they're finding faster and faster ways to burn themselves. I'm sorry, this is just it's just too good. It's just too good. How many URs? This deck requires no ultra rares. The only super rare that you play in this deck is Pot of Desires. And so I'm just gonna go second in case my opponent's doing it, because we'll showcase their versions of the deck as well. And it's becoming so meta. It's like a meta within itself that's happening in this event. So it's super fun. My opponent not playing an extra deck again, and I'm just keeping this this stream rolling here. It's a live recording, and so you're seeing this is just actually one after another of playing against the same deck. And so again, I don't really like showcasing decks like this on my channel, but it was too frequent for me to ignore. So I definitely wanted to bring you guys this information and at least give you the best version of this deck, right, that we could come up with here. So that way you have this available to you. What is this card? There's so many cards that deal damage to yourself that like we didn't even know existed and were probably never played before this. But now it's just become this like meta within itself. So very, very funny. Yeah, so I'm gonna draw here and let's see what their last card is. Maybe they have a way to burn me. I'll just set a card and see. And it looks like they didn't quite find their lethal, so we'll just deal some damage to ourselves too. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attack with this. Why not, right? And yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go into our deck list here and show you the version that we've come up with. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this this video. All right. So here we are with the deck list that we've come up with. So the deck list is going to be 3 Giant Kozaki, which deals 2,500 damage to you. We're going to play 3 Garbage Lord, which you have to pay 2,000 life points. The real differentiator is paying you can't burn yourself to death with, and with damage you can. 3 copies of Goku N, which does 2,400 damage to you. Dreadnought Dunker, you play this to summon off of UA Signing Deal, which this card does 2,400 damage to you. Pot of Desires is the only super rare that you have to play. You don't even have to play it. But drawing 2 cards is nice. Performapal Popper Up is insane. You can deal like up to like 5,000 damage to yourself with this one. Map is a very considerable card. I wanted to show it because you can use Map to search for Garbage Lord and then special summon it. And you don't have to play that. It's a super rare. I play 1 copy of Twister. Not necessary. You can just be anything. Fusion Support. It pays half your life, and that's good. Destruction of Destiny. You mill 3 cards, take 1,000 for each spell and trap, and we play 29 spells of traps, so it's highly likely to deal 3k. Fairy Wind, you're going to use this. It deals damage to you, but you use it specifically for this last card. Appointer of the Red Lotus does 2k to yourself. Extinction does 2k to yourself. Judgment halves your life. I only have 1. And Lucky Punch, when this card is face up on the field and it's destroyed, you take 6,000 damage. So you can use this and then destroy it with Fairy Wind to just deal all your life points and damage. So as you can see, the only super rare in the deck is the Desires, and you could easily just play something else. There's so many cards. You can play Toon World, Garbage Ogre, searches Garbage Lord. There's like so many tech cards you can play. So yeah, I just wanted to make you guys aware of this, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do like, really appreciate a subscription to this channel. I'm not encouraging this. This is just a PSA that this deck is available, but if you do want to clear the event as quickly as possible, if you're not interested in using actual XYZ decks, then this is a good option for you. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.